Hey guys.
Welcome to Coffee and Cleavage.
Oh, need more coffee.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what would you do without coffee?
I literally couldn't live without coffee.
I couldn't either.
It's like the number one thing that I would probably say I can't live without.
Yeah.
Like, consumably.
I don't even get the point of decaf either. I'm sorry.
Fuck no.
I guess people that like the taste of coffee, but they don't want the caffeine. I don't know. What's the point? Sorry. We're going off topic here, what we're going to talk about. But
It's true. It's true, though. There's no point in decaf. Just drink water.
Yeah, exactly.
Smell the coffee beans.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about stigma.
Stigma.
The double standards. And we know that there are a lot of stigmas and double standards for everybody.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to focus on the ones that impact women negatively.
Mm-hmm.
God, there's so many.
There are a ton. Where do we begin?
I feel like women are just not fucking honking. Welcome to downtown Los Angeles. I feel like women are just treated differently for being sexually...
Well, yeah, it's looked at very differently for women of what is okay for women compared to what is okay for men or what is acceptable.
Yeah, I just feel like women are held to different standards when it comes to being sexually promiscuous.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a man can go out and have sex with whomever he wants as many times as he wants, and he's almost encouraged and applauded for doing so. Like, pausing again for these sirens.
Shit, we literally were able to get through a whole hour without that shit. No.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
So it's like continuing fire. So I feel like women, on the other hand, they're shamed and called names. You're a slut and you're a whore, and you're
judged.
You're trashy for doing the exact same thing that a man can do, that he is congratulated for and told that he is the man.
Yeah.
He is the player.
Praised for and thinking he's the shit. Yeah, I mean, it's not like
how,
that.
How do we go from player to slut for literally doing the exact same thing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And a woman is a homie hopper. I fucking hate that term, but I've heard. It's been a while since I heard that term.
Me too. I've heard that one in a while.
I haven't heard that one in a long time, but for lack of a better comparison at the moment, we have women who are, degraded or called names for sleeping with somebody that the person they were with is friends with, whereas it's really seen as an accomplishment for a man to maybe fuck, his ex's best friend or sister or something. It's almost like an accomplishment, like a little notch on the belt. Whereas women are just really honestly shamed for being sexually active or for being, or for sleeping around without any emotions attached,
Yeah.
It's just interesting to think about.
It is. I think because you don't really hear of it as often as you do for a guy. But I think it comes down to what we talked about before, how a lot of women are more private about, instead of boasting about it or bragging, I don't know, I feel like women are definitely more reserved when it comes to that. Most of the time.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like, I'm not going to be like, hey, Lynnie, the other night, I fucked my ex's fucking best friend.
Well, I would expect you to tell me that. Girls want to hear that shit from their friends. Like, whoa, tell me what's been going on with you,
They do, but I couldn't imagine you being like, wow, you're such a fucking savage. I mean, I know that you wouldn't shame me, but now if I said that to somebody else, they may have a different opinion. It's just interesting how fixated humans can be with, really worrying about how other people perceive them or see them or think about them.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and no one likes to feel judged or feel shamed or,
No, I just don't understand why anybody gives a fuck about who people are fucking.
I don't understand that either. It's like, it's none of your fucking business. First of all, how is it affecting you and your life? You know, like,
yeah, it's difficult. I just don't care. And I'm not saying I don't care as in I don't care about people, but I just mean like I don't care who you're fucking. Is it a man? Is it a woman? Is it both? Is it neither? Like none of that impacts me. And some people get so distraught over the idea of what somebody else is doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like they're not fucking you.
I know. I don't understand that at all.
And I know that's probably, a psychological, mental component to why some people care more about things out of their control. But for me, I'm just like, I can only focus on what I can control, because you can't control everybody else.
Exactly. I don't understand, though. I feel like some people are just very judgmental and they like snooping and being involved in other people's business. And I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm like you, I don't give a fuck.
No.
I care about my friends. Like, if they tell me stuff, I'm there. I don't ever judge, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Water your own fucking grass and stop peeping over the fucking fence and caring about your fucking neighbor's fucking garden. Like, who cares?
It's none of your business.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And it's, unless it's directly impacting you or somebody that you care about. And I feel like even in those instances, you just really can't get too involved in somebody else's business. Like I know I've had friends who are like, they know that their friend is being cheated on, but the friend doesn't know. And so they're like, is it my place? I feel like in that case, so it's somebody you care about, but look, like imagine if you're friends with both the people, how do you handle that? Like, do you say something? Do you say nothing? Are you kind of complicit to the situation? So I feel like it does get more complicating than just minding your own business if it directly involves you. Yeah. But in terms of like the guy down the street, like somebody not in your bubble, somebody whose actions don't impact you, like, why bother?
Exactly. Like, someone has no reason to call a girl a slut. They don't know exactly everything about
count
her.
How many times I've been called a slut. Probably can write a fucking book with just the word slut for the amount of times I've probably been called a slut.
Well,
I feel like it's just a term that people just use to degrade people,
Yeah.
I remember this one time I got a message on, well, not this one time. This happens often, guys. This happens all the time. I get mean DMs and mean emails, sometimes letters, telling me what a terrible person I am, what a whore I am, what a slut I am. I remember one time it really got to me, and we're people. Like everybody has feelings, And as tough as, you kind of have to be in the industry that we're in, sometimes it does hurt still. A lot of times I'm able to just kind of like block it out, and it's, that it has absolutely nothing to do with you. But I remember this particular message that I got from someone who was calling me every name in the book, and I didn't really understand like where it was even coming from. Like, why is this random person sending me this message? It had been because I had shared some positive fucking quote on my Instagram story, which I never do, but when something speaks to you or something means something to you,
then
sometimes you fucking click share.
Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, exactly. And so apparently he was like offended by the positive quote that I shared.
What the fuck?
And used that to like attack me. Now, clearly this person just wanted a response from me.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, a lot of negative attention usually is given when the person giving the negative attention wants attention. They want a response from you. They want you to engage. They want you to reply.
Yeah.
And he just went on to say about how he knew everything about me. And I'm like, how do you know everything about me? Like, I have no idea who you are.
That's kind of creepy.
He knows everything about me. He's read everything that there is to know about me online. He knows every aspect of my life. And he knows that I'm a fucking terrible person, a slut, and a whore.
What the fuck?
And I was like, That's just so wild that people believe that because they've seen you on the internet, they've seen your pictures, maybe they read a snippet about, where you grew up or where you went to college, that they feel so entitled, or so sure that they know who you are. And
you're
I
like,
was
you
just
don't know
like,
shit. It's like, wow.
I was just,
What did
just
you
like,
respond back
I
to
didn't
this
respond
person?
that time. I don't recall what I responded the time.
Because they're
The
looking
first
for a
mess.
response. That's the thing.
Yeah, because there was like a little bit of a pity story in there about like some stuff that he was going through personally. And so at first I did respond to the first one. I said, I'm not quite sure like what's going on in your life to make you feel that way. But I've done absolutely nothing wrong to you.
Yeah.
And you have no idea who I am. And then that's when he responded back with the like, I know everything about you and you're a fucking whore and a slut and a piece of shit and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, block.
Yep.
Because that energy does nothing for me.
No.
That's no different than any other encounter, in person too, where people name call you. It's just not, nobody needs that in their life.
No, they don't.
Water your own fucking grass. Like,
Yeah.
Don't try to tell people how to,
Yeah, what's okay for
them. And I was just like, how did you read some stuff about me online and come to the conclusion that I'm a slut? Did I miss something?
I think some people have nothing better to do.
I feel like the big picture, and I come into this a lot, and this is definitely falls into our stigma, what we're talking about, is that people don't see what it is that we do for a living as a legitimate job. They see my pictures online and on Instagram, and they think like, oh, there's just a thirsty fucking whore looking for attention. Like, I literally get off on attention and I make a living on attention. And like, don't get me wrong, clearly here we are connecting with you. So there is a connection aspect to what it is that we do for a living.
Yeah.
But it's so much bigger than what people perceive it to be.
Yeah.
I know you agree completely.
Completely. And it really bothers me that people, a lot of people think what we do is not a real job. And I hate that. It's not looked at as a real job. They think, okay, shooting, for instance, doing a photo shoot. Oh, you get pretty for the camera and take pictures. Yeah. You don't even realize what goes into that shit.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, literally, there's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah. And then keeping up with all of our social media platforms, and then constantly trying to be creative, thinking of new ideas all the time, and then having bookings where people, book you for shoots and for jobs too. It's like, they don't even know. The other day I was thinking like, man, sometimes I wish I had an assistant.
Yeah. No, I was actually just thinking that last night. I was laying in bed and I was like trying to organize all of my thoughts of what the things I needed to do today were going to be. And I literally had that exact same thought, like, fuck, I need to hire an assistant because it's a lot to keep up with.
It is.
And I do have people that work for me, but I'm ready to expand. Like, I need more of a team. Like, fucking Team Shantal, let's get this done.
Exactly. Because when you have so much on your plate doing what we do, sometimes you're having like 5 conversations at once when you're texting back and forth with people. You know what I mean? And sometimes you forget about doing, I don't know. Sometimes my brain just wants to explode. But what I'm trying to say here.
Moral of the story is that what we do is a business, and it's not any different than any other business that you encounter, because honestly, it's literally all the same foundation. There's so many moving parts. Shooting is just one aspect. We also both self-edit our content. We do strategy. We, I don't know about you, but I do my own books. Like, I do my own taxes, and a lot of people do that, but it's part of the business. It's all just rolled into one.
Yep.
It is. The thing is that it's like, terrible as it sounds, is like, I am my own product. And I'm selling myself, and that sounds like so fucking terrible when I say it out loud, but I am my own product. So I'm constantly marketing myself and, getting those jobs. I'm a freelance artist. Yes. And so even though I own my own business, like, I'm still a freelance person. So I go and I find all of my jobs. I do my own bookings. I don't have an agency to go do those things for me, that could be actually nice.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't found the right one
Yeah,
to work
same
with.
here. Same
And I
here.
don't like exclusivity because I
Mhm.
know how much of a hard worker I am and how determined I am, and to just allow somebody else to only do the bookings for me seems crazy.
Yeah.
Seems like I would get way less work.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And just trying to do so many different things.
Yeah.
So it's definitely not respected, and I
It's
get that. I don't
not.
get people, but I don't understand what's so difficult to understand, because look at any actress, look at any singer.
Yes.
It's all within the entertainment industry, and whether you're singing or acting or modeling or all of the above, it's all entertainment.
It is.
It's really
all,
not different.
It's you know, it's not like a 9 to 5 too, where you get off at 5 o'clock and you can just go unwind. I mean, what we do, I mean, for me, I feel like I'm working 24/7.
It is, and kind of rightfully so, because when you are and you own your own business, you do invest all of your time and your energy into it. If you're the business owner, you don't leave at 5 p.m.
No.
You don't clock out. You don't take days off.
No,
you
you
know, and I'm
don't.
not saying nobody should ever take a day off. Like, everybody needs some time off.
You need time to disconnect. And
You do need that
Yeah.
time, but when you're owning your own business, like, you have to be that invested. And I think that just a lot of people don't see that, and especially with the OnlyFans aspect, they have no idea like what goes into creating the content,
They have no
editing
idea.
the content, strategizing the content, connecting with your fans, and just all the different aspects to what makes that happen. So I don't know, maybe we'll actually have to do like a day in the life of our podcast specifically, just to kind of show like what goes even into this is in terms of our planning and strategy. And
you know what? We need to do that.
Yeah, I think it would be fun too.
That would be a lot of fun. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I don't know, I feel like a lot of people are interested. I know I get a lot of my fans that always ask, like, they're so curious about the industry of what we do. Like, you know, besides seeing the content that we provide, they're always curious of the making of it. You know, I have quite a few to always ask me questions, so that would be a really cool thing to do. Actually,
yeah, most are pretty shocked. Like, when I've had conversations with people about like what exactly my business is, like what it is that I do, what are the different types of jobs that I do, how do I get those jobs, you know, who handles the negotiating, who writes the contracts, you know, like, you know, who does the accounting and makes all the decisions. And it's just, yeah, I mean, I feel like maybe it has become a tad more normalized than it was 10 years ago, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
But still,
it still has that, I don't know, where people just think, oh, you know, just because you don't get up and
what else do you do?
9 to 5. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I love that one.
I can't tell you how many times I've gotten that.
Yeah.
Oh, what else do you do?
What else do you do? Or what's your real job? Or, yeah, I've definitely had that one a lot. And I think sometimes for like family members or people, or friends even, who aren't familiar with the entertainment industry, they have no idea what it is I do. And I just kind of leave it that way. You know, I'm not going to lie. I definitely use some like one term words to describe what it is that I do, to kind of like dumb it down for people, because a lot of times people want it to make sense to them, and it has to like fit in a box that they recognize so that they can connect. So if you say like, oh, I'm in marketing, they're like, oh, okay, cool, end of conversation. Oh, I'm an accountant. Okay, boom, cool, I totally understand. End of conversation. And if you say like, I'm a model, I'm in the entertainment industry, you know, I'm in the subscription world, or, you know, you go into any of that like content creating, there's like 100 more questions. And if I'm being honest, a lot of times, and this is probably bad on me because I'm sitting here saying that I wish people understood what it is that I do, but a lot of times I don't want to invest the energy into explaining that, into answering the questions.
Because no matter how much you explain it, they're not going to really, like you said, it's got to fit in their mind what makes sense.
It's just devalued a lot. And so then I kind of feel a little bit depleted. Like, okay, I just invested a little bit of time explaining that, and now somebody, you know, doesn't get it or thinks less of me, and I'm just like, a lot of times it's just not worth it. So, so that's terrible for me to say, because I'm like, please understand, but most people still don't understand.
No, there's certain people in my family, I don't talk about it either.
Yeah, I don't give the information because it's kind of easier. And I like that separation in my life personally, like my personal life, albeit small, I like to really keep it to myself. you know, and that way I can have that kind of separation between work and life balance, you know, and not like have them as meshed so that I can really enjoy my time in both of worlds. So
definitely, that's smart, 100%. You know, I mean,
sometimes I wish that like some of my family members understood more, but I'm like, I'm kind of just like hitting it over the head trying to explain like
Same
this is
here.
what I do, and
yeah,
you know,
I have supporters in my family that are like, it's different when they always ask you like, oh, so what have you been up to, and they ask questions like they're actually interested. You know what I mean? And they're happy for you and they're supportive. But when you kind of get that vibe where they just don't get it, you're just like, okay, I'm not going to even go there.
Yeah, exactly.
It just bugs me when people think like what we do is not a real job. That really gets to me because like they don't know. It's like mentally, physically, everything.
It's definitely harder. I mean, I've had many jobs in the past, many at the same time.
Same here. I've had multiple jobs
like
at the same time.
3 jobs at the same time and going to school full time. And this is definitely more work than that. But I'm thankful to be able to do it and to make a living this way. And because it is fun and it's exciting. I think what makes it exciting is that I'm always doing something different and I get to like choose what hats I'm wearing for the day or for a few hours and just constantly, you know, kind of evolving and changing and doing different things. You know, it's just, I think, a lot more enjoyable than just doing one thing all the time, because if I was literally just modeling all the time or just doing vlogs or just doing the editing, I would be like, oh man, this is a drag. But because I kind of like get to dip my hands in all different things.
It's a mixture of everything. And it makes it new and exciting all the time, you know.
And this is exciting.
It is, yeah. I know. We were just talking about how we were so looking forward to getting together and doing our podcast because it's fun. We actually enjoy doing this.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't enjoy it, honestly.
Yeah.
That is one thing that I've come to appreciate about the job is like getting to pick and choose what it is that you do and don't do. You know, I know when I was younger and first starting out in modeling, I would like take every single job I got offered. And now that I've been doing this for so long, I do feel fortunate that I can like
pick and choose.
Like, no, I'm not going to go work every single in-person event when I don't really enjoy some of those events, you know? And before I would like just think that I had to accept every single booking, you know, everything, and just kind of drive myself wild sometimes with some of the jobs that I didn't enjoy that much.
Yeah, and when you get stuck doing those ones you don't enjoy, you're like,
why am I doing this? I've had that thought before. Like at an event, I'm like, why the fuck am I doing this? Not like I thought I was better than it or better than it or anything like that, but I was just like, this is not, I don't enjoy doing this. Like this doesn't make me happy. And at the end of the day, if you don't love what it is that you're doing, then what the fuck are you doing?
What is the point?
Yeah. I mean, for a lot of people, they're like, oh, well, it puts food on the table. I get that.
Yeah.
I mean, I totally get that because I've been there. So I'm just happy that I'm able to freaking put food on my table and enjoy this life doing what, you know, fucking lights my fire.
Absolutely. I feel like, too, with doing what we do, and that's another thing. A lot of people think it's so easy. It's not easy. And I feel like that's what makes it more rewarding too. Because you really feel like you are working towards something. And if it came too easy, you wouldn't appreciate all the rewards as much.
It's taken a long time to get to like right here, right now, you know? And so, just appreciating that.
Definitely.
Down with the stigmas.
Yes.
Fuck the stigmas, guys. All right, guys.
All right.